May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, preserving the legacy of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths crossed his, and anything else that comes to mind. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable and free from economic hardship and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. And today we've got another brief memory. So let's see who remembers what briefly. This incident took place in 1965 or 66. Suzuki Roshi invited his students to accompany him on a visit to the Buddhist Church of San Francisco, which is part of the Buddhist Churches of America, the Jodo Shinshu or Pure Land branch of Buddhism. We, many of us in our 20s, seated ourselves on the wooden pews in the church sanctuary, although there were Buddhist images and objects in the sanctuary. We were comparing the atmosphere to that of the simple zendo at Sokoji. Where are the zafus? Why are these hymn-like books sitting in the rack on the back of the pew in front of us? As one of the priests from the church was talking to us about Shin Buddhism, some of us were chuckling amongst ourselves. We who had begun to learn about Zen and Buddhism maybe years ago thought we knew all about real Buddhism, and this wasn't it. We had no idea we were being observed. At the beginning of Zazen the next morning, Suzuki Roshi began walking around the zendo with his stick, which was highly unusual. We had acted rudely, out of ignorance and arrogance, and he was furious. Roshi hit each student with his stick and shouted, "You think you know everything about Buddhism. You know nothing." He was right. So that's from Sheridan Adams, formerly Erickson. Sheridan Erickson. Yeah, that sounds like that sounds like a lot of people. There were people that were very respectful of other trips, other teachers, many people, but there tended to be that idea about we've got the real Buddhism. Most groups are like that. I've been to other groups and I felt like I was at a rival high school. But, I think in general things are less that way now than they were way back then. She said it was highly unusual for him to walk around with his stick. Well, maybe she didn't notice it, or maybe he hadn't started doing it there, but he walked around, especially back in Sokoji, he walked around a lot with his stick, but he didn't walk around hitting people like that. He just hold it. It's the short stick, the nioi, or something like that. Nioi, I think. And he'd just have it in one hand, and he'd go around and straighten people's backs and stuff. I mean, we might hit somebody if they're sleeping. Bump, bump on the shoulder, and then on the other shoulder, bump, bump. And if it was a priest, and there were no priests then, they'd only get hit on one shoulder because they're okesa. Their robe of ordination is over the other shoulder. Oh, and going around hitting everybody is a sort of formal traditional thing. It's called rensaku. So anyway, yeah, you know nothing. There were occasional you know nothing scoldings or just comments in lectures reminding us of that. Gee, you know, I certainly feel that way right now. And I like feeling that way. Sometimes I feel like I know something, and then later I realize, oh, that's not a comfortable place to be in. I'm much more comfortable knowing nothing. This has been a Cuke Audio mini podcast. I'm DC Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Doggett Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.